Way to report damage, damage.ok.gov, and so many folks had so much damage, Lace.
Oh yeah, and just driving around, especially southwest Oklahoma City, down into West Moore. So many trees blown over, limbs down, damage to siding, busted windows, and virtually hundreds of vehicles flooded yesterday from driving into flood water. Video of emergency crews on I-35. At one time, I-35 and 240, Hank Brown had 18 vehicles that had either wrecked or stalled out due to flooding. Emergency water rescues underway at times. That vehicle there, the water was actually up to the top of it at one point. Raging water in Norman, that was the case in Moore and southwest Oklahoma City. A lot of outbuildings and awnings and trampolines flipped over, and this was the water rescue ongoing in Moore, southwest 19th Street in Moore, and there was actually 5 feet of water on that roadway and 2 vehicles were floating yesterday with that. So lots of damage, lots of folks cleaning up yesterday through the day for your Sunday, and so many crews out and about restoring power. At one point, over 50,000 customers were without power across the state of Oklahoma. That's down to 500 this morning. And so many folks sending in pictures. Thank you so much for all of your pictures after those destructive storms rolled through in the middle of the night. It was a rude wake-up call for a Sunday. Look at the busted windows and the glass on the bed there. Kimberly says, yes, she was fine. She was able to get out of that room without having any injuries. So much water fell. Now, when you add up the rain that we had yesterday, 2 to 4 inches across the metro, this is the past 10 days. So July 1 through July 9th. And yes, 6 to 8 inches of rain has fallen. And that's why there is no drought across those regions. Still dealing with a little drought up to the north, but the lakes have come up. They're releasing water in lakes in western Oklahoma. When was last time that happened? They're just too full, and we're getting more rain. Showers this morning, it's sprinkles. This isn't going to add to much. It's not leading to any flooding problems, but you will notice those sprinkles near Sayre and Cheyenne. And there's a chance of rain here in Oklahoma City. It's 10%. 69 degrees on our Lucky Star Sky Cam network. A little light fog developing in spots. Storms keeping you updated on any problem areas on the roadways. No major wind at all. Most locations winds are calm. 71 at 9, 79 by noon, 86 by 3 o'clock. We're in the mid upper 80s, a few 90s in the southwest, and the heat dome set up in the southwest. Now what happened is we've got the trough setting up off to our east, pulling the jet stream winds from the north down to the south, and that keeps the heat dome from really locking in over Oklahoma like it usually does in July, and that keeps our rain chances in. Now the rain chances taper off some as the jet stream lifts to the north later in the week, but they come back for the weekend. And here's how we're shaping up for tonight, because I do think we'll be tracking some storms tonight and maybe even a few strong to severe storms. Here it comes from the west. Most of the data says the storms in far western Oklahoma fizzle. We'll see if that can happen. We may end up getting a few storms in the west. Better chance though central and southern portions of the state, and at about 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, those are rolling into the metro. Pockets of heavy rain, tropical-like rain, could have some very quick areas of flooding. I don't think it'll be nearly as widespread as what we had yesterday. More widespread if we see flooding would be down to the south, where those rainfall totals will be higher. The rain hangs around longer. We also could have some large hail out of those storms as well. So rain chances 40, 60, 80%. There's a low risk for severe weather, hail and wind, and the flooding risk does go up, especially down to the south, but it's not in the high category. We'll be monitoring it. Trackers will be out. If you start to see any problem areas, we'll let you know. But just know when you're driving around at dark in those tropical rains, that water is stacking up quickly on the roadways. Golf ball size hail possible. That does not mean everyone that has a storm in this area will get golf ball size hail. Most of the storms will produce nickel dime, but maybe up to golf ball size hail. Winds do not look to be nearly as intense, because these will be more of kind of scattered storms instead of a big complex rushing in. So as far as damaging winds, 50, 60, may have some gusts to 65. Tonight, we drop down into the 60s and 70s, and then tomorrow, lower mid-90s. We're back into the upper 90s for your Wednesday. It is going to be hot on Wednesday for sure. 96 on Friday. Heat index will be around 108. Friday, 95, with storm chances coming back into the weekend. We'll be tracking it, and we're back with much more after this break.